In Hitler House news. Oh, I wonder what the showers are like. Submitted by hand-pulled nudes.
What? What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Hand pulled?
Like hand-picked?
Selected? Like.
Developed in the liquid.
Or like hand-pulled noodles?
Oh, that was a more wholesome. Wow, that's actually. Wow, you're better than we are.
Just married to a Chinese man.
Hitler's birth home will be turned into a police station after a years-long debate on what to do with it.
Why did they make it into a museum?
Yeah.
Because they probably don't want to celebrate him, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Because isn't it weird to have a police station there, and with police brutality and all that stuff going on?
Well, this is in a different country though.
His birth home, so Austria.
Austria.
Oh, it's a birth home. That's different from his Nazi residence. He was a baby. That's different. That's like Trump home.
Yeah, he was actually born here.
I like you just convinced yourself.
I mean, when he was a baby, was it tainted? I don't think so. I think it's a different creature.
Why can't we show Hitler as a baby though?
This is Hitler as a baby.
Wow,
I don't have a mustache.
He has the same haircut?
that's a fucking hilarious hair.
Why does he have the same haircut? Just kidding.
This is the building.
Can we say that he was a cute baby or no?
He was pretty cute. He was chubby.
We can say that, right? Yeah. Okay.
So he was born on the second floor back in 1889, which when I read this, I was like, oh shit, he's exactly 100 years.
100 years younger than us.
Oh yeah, you're also born in yeah.
That 100-year-old bitch.
So they have this plaque here.
Das
and-
Volkswagen.
Fucking Morgenhagen.
No, Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz.
So it actually says, for peace, freedom, and democracy, never again fascism, millions dead are a warning.
Cool.
So actually the Austrian government has been renting the property from this one person who her family has owned the building for many generations. And so back in 2012, she had refused federal requests to make renovations, which then sparked Austrian efforts to take ownership of the building.
Can they do that? Can they just take a building from you if you own it?
Well, so the country's government ended up seizing the building.
That sounds pretty fascist to me.
Back in
They're like, no more fascism. And they're like, you know what? I'm just going to take your fucking property. That's ours now. The government says this is mine.
Every government in the world, even here, they have laws like that where they can just seize.
Under what pretenses though?
Like if they want to build a post office, for example, they can just seize your house and be like, we want to put the post office.
There's people who are like, oh, we'll offer you $1 million. They refuse to sell. And then like now you just have like skyscrapers in this little tiny house and like in up.
But if it's the govies, if it's the government,
It's much harder in America.
yeah, it's harder, but they can still do it.
Yeah, so then
They'll find a
they
way.
seized the building back in 2017, which then led her to file a complaint that eventually landed before Austria's highest court. And so the Supreme Court of Justice in Vienna ruled that she should receive 812,000 euros, which is about $898,000 in compensation.
Wow, the euro went down, didn't it?
You sure did.
It went
Jesus.
down.
What was it before?
It used to be like 1.5 of the dollar.
They should put up like an Airbnb, like stay in Hitler's bedroom.
That's good money. They're just getting almost $1 million for it. That's tight.
Well, they're really trying to,
For an old ass building like that?
that she had nothing to do with it just because she inherited it.
What? That's dope.
Yeah.
But they were just gonna steal it from her?
Well,
With a big plaque that says, we should never be fascist ever again. And then the government comes in and takes your private property. That's fucking hilarious. That's the irony behind that.
Yep.
Hey, we need this property, but we have this fucking stone here representing that fascism shouldn't be your life.
Are there clues at was it ever a museum or anything?
So,
Did Hitler have a rattle that had no rattle sounds in it? And so it's like
That's why he became Hitler.
Little hints.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
so during World
Like swastikas, but like baby's hand drawing.
Right?
Yeah, like little designs like that.
Buddhism, very young.
Way to complicate it, Tiff.
So during World War II, it was an art gallery and a library. And it was also used as a bank, a school, and a center for people with special needs. But now they're saying that it will be turned into a police station to deter any neo-Nazi people from wanting to make it into a shrine and stuff. And so...
Oh, that makes sense. Because if
Yeah.
it's a museum, all of the visitors might be neo-Nazi worldwide.
So they decided to make it into a police station, and they will start doing that next year, in 2020. Can you believe next year's 2020?
Oh, whole ass decade is done. Holy crap.
20s are coming.
It's in like 5 or 6 weeks.
I'm I'm not ready.
It's crazy. It's right around the corner.
And we still don't have flying cars. What the fuck?
We're rolling into the new Roaring
The Roaring 20s. Yeah.
When you think about what a museum is, it's really just like a hoarder's collection of historical shit.
And it's haunted.
I went to the museum recently. I went to the
museums.
Broad like last week, and a lot of shit was like, the fuck is this? Like, you guys.
Is it not worth it?
Well, I mean, like this
contemporary art or something?
Yeah, but it's just like, it was literally like a piece of cardboard painted red stuck on another piece of cardboard. It was selling for like.
I don't like those ones. I like the historical stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that stuff. Like anyone who finds that shit, like the weird stuff, awesome. Like you don't know shit. You don't know what you're talking
To me,
about.
that's
hate
just troll
contemporary.
museums.
Yeah.
Those are troll museums, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Shit.
I did see this one thing at a contemporary museum though. It's like they just rigged a bunch of scissors with sensors. So wherever you walk, the scissors start fucking going.
That's fun.
So then it follows you, and then so you could just run around the whole place, and the scissors like.
I can toss my hair up and get my split ends cut.
Dude, you fucking dope. Yeah.
It's
But
terrifying.
Poppy would be fun. Yeah, it's for you because
it was really high. It was high up. So everywhere you walk, there's that recent movie that came out with the Taikawas, Waititi, about the Jojo rabbits.
Oh my god, he was in the
being-
recent episode of Rick and Morty.
I heard, but I haven't seen it yet.
Taika or Hitler?
Taika.
Okay, check in. Yeah, just making sure.
But it seems like
I met him. I met Taika.
Is he really
Oh, he
cool?
did?
Is he the best?
He's okay. So he didn't see that. He doesn't know I exist.
Yeah.
I was this close. I took
Oh,
a photo.
that's right.
You touch shoulders?
I did. I touched him. I touched Taika Waititi.
I met Michael fucking
Did you do a
Mann.
selfie where he wasn't even looking at the camera?
Yeah, it's so
Oh my
sad. I don't want to post it because it's sad.
Sad. I met Michael Mann, but I didn't get a picture with him. But I shook his hand and said I'm a huge fan.
Who is
You guys
that?
know who Michael Mann is?
The Heat? He did Heat, right?
He directed Heat.
I still like Taika Waititi better. Sorry.
You're wrong. You've never seen Heat then.
Fine, I'm wrong.
So yeah, so fucking hey.
Okay. Yes.
Watch Jojo Rabbit. Watch.
Passionate. I'm not gonna burn the flame in his heart.
If you're a fan of
have.
testosterone, you would like Michael Mann.
I have, but if you, I'll let you have it.
What's he about?
What's Heat
It's
about?
an action movie.
It's a guy movie.
Fucking Pacino
Who?
and De Niro.
Pacino.
Tiff, you want to know what Heat's about?
Oh, Pacino.
I've seen the poster.
Oh, did not. God damn it.
Heat is about an unstoppable force
What
that
did you say?
immovable object.
Things started clicking in her head.
I'm so slow today because he's like, Pacino, De Niro? What the fuck is Pacino?
They were acting opposite of each other. Sick.
I gotta see it.
It's Italian name.
Yeah, you met him and you shook his hand.
I met Michael Mann, I shook his hand. I went to a screening of the movie Thief that he did with James Caan, and it was a fucking dope movie. Because what's great about him as a director is that he actually does the things that he's filming. So like when he had James Caan robbing a vault, a bank vault, he actually had him holding a fucking like hot whatever rod, and he's shoving it into the side of the vault and actually cracks the vault.
tight.
Like that's Michael Mann, man. He is so technical and dope.
You know
Fine, I'm on your team now. I like. Yeah,
The
that was
opening
better.
scene of Dark Knight that everyone loves that Christopher Nolan did is highly inspired by Heat. Michael Mann.
By the initial robbery.
Even the soundtrack and everything, that everything, yeah.
Well, Taika Waititi had 3 microphones because one of them didn't work, and then so he got another one, and then another guy brought another one. So at one point he had 3.
That's fucking
pretty
cute.
So fucking funny.
Why would he keep holding the microphones that don't work?
Cute.
Because he was
Michael Mann forever.
doing a bit. You should appreciate bits.
True.
I don't know. I fucking love him. He was awesome. Oh, I saw him doing a Q&A of Jojo Rabbit. So back to Hitler and stuff. What were you gonna say?
Okay, expanding on what a museum is, like if you're not into the right thing, like if you're into historical artifacts and stuff, you gather a fuck ton, you put it inside of a building, you call it a museum. If you're like my mom and you're into like fucking old trampolines and rusty metal furniture and shit, you fill a house with that, you try to call it a museum, everyone's like, you're a fucking hoarder, this is weird.
What's the difference between an old trampoline and a new one?
That's my mom. You have to keep
They look the same,
You have to keep both because you saw your 3-year-old kid jumping on that one and you really liked it.
but the model and technology hasn't really changed, right?
No, fuck no.
I would never buy a fucking trampoline. You know how many
Why?
accidents and deaths happen?
What
It's
about
like
the
60%.
small one? What
No,
about the small ones?
those fucking
Brains are scary.
yeah, those are terrible.
Exactly. They go. Wow.
And your space for like error is so small.
I had one when I was a
Yes, you're gonna
kid,
die.
and it was so fun.
You had one?
That doesn't sound like your childhood.
No, like a small one, like a little
I think
3-foot.
everyone had the little where you do the aerobic like
I had the
trampoline
little-
thing. Yeah.
And if
I'm
you
not
just
buying
needed extra air to do something, you can just run and jump on it, and then get a little extra air for some reason.
I never liked trampolines, man, because then people jump on it all weird and I get the half jump and it fucks my ankles up.
Like the moon bounce?
Yeah, man.
If you're on the floor, you're fucked.
I was raised on little trampolines, and so when I went on my first big trampoline, I was like, this is way too much trampoline. I don't need this much trampoline. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
I don't think I've ever been on a trampoline.
Don't,
I've just
man.
been like on Moon Bounce House.
Record it. If you ever do get on one, record it. Put it on YouTube. 2 million views.
You
dude.
feel invincible. Because you're just like, oh, if I crash, it's not gonna hurt. And you try to jump more and more. And then pretty soon, like, you're really up in the air. And then you're like, oh, fuck, how the fuck do I get down from this? And it gets kind of scary. But you might like skydiving.
Or go to. You've never been to what's that
Sky
place?
Zone?
Yeah. Thank you. Fuck yeah.
Oh, that one? Isaac's been there a lot, and I still haven't been there.